Good evening, individuals. It's Sap back again with yet another similar interesting article, news article, very recent. It's from December 8th, which is very similar to a news article I've did before. That was about a Brazilian man who died because he brought his assault rifle to an MRI. Very smart, of course, magnetic resonance imaging, and you're bringing an assault rifle in that fucking cage or glory hole, whatever you want to call an MRI. Very intelligent. But today we got a US woman, of course it's from the US, Second Amendment rights, who, let me read the headline, woman shoots herself in the bum. She probably posted it on OnlyFans as well, after entering MRI machine with a gun. And it's, to me, like I'm legit not even trying to be insulting, but how the fuck do you have enough IQ to, well, you're talking about your bum getting shot in it, but how the fuck do you even have enough IQ to wipe it? Because you get infinite, I've never been in an MRI, but you probably get an infinite amount of warnings in the hospital. Yo, you're about to go in an MRI, don't bring anything that is metal, right? You have to take off your clothes, of course, not naked, but you get a special, what is it called, sheath around your body that obviously is not distracting from the images that you get. But the point I'm trying to make is you get millions of warnings. Don't bring metal objects. Don't bring your belt, right? If you don't bring your phone in your pocket, you can even have pants on, I guess, kind of like Bill Clinton on the Epstein Island. But the point I'm trying to make is there's no way you can even enter an MRI machine without with any metal objects, because you get billions of warnings. And this just reminded me, I've also done a video, not Google it, look it on my channel, of another man. It was not the Brazilian man, because that man brought an assault rifle to the MRI machine, but another wanker who brought this metal butt plug. Now I remember. Very relevant for what happened in the US Senate 2 days ago, if you've heard it. There was a bloke getting literally, what is it called? I don't want to be offensive, but rammed in the behind, recorded it and posted it in the US Senate. He's now fired, unfortunately. But the point I'm trying to make is maybe he was the guy who brought his metal butt plug into an MRI machine. Yes, no spoiler alerts, because I want you to watch my video, of course, which nobody on the planet has watched. But he did almost die because the butt plug went all the way to his chest. And you can figure how much distance that is in the body, and it's going to be lovely, damaging all the organs and shit. I don't even know how you survive that, but now I'm going to get into the news article finally. This one, it's not a metal butt plug and it's not an assault rifle, but it is a gun. So, fucking hell, I always hate it when you can't select it like this. Woman shoots herself in the bum after entering MRI machine with a gun. Again, it's on her OnlyFans. 8 December, so very, very recent. One woman had a bit of a shock during her MR scan. If you've ever, you mean MRI, okay? If you've ever had an MRI scan, you've probably worried that your nightmares could come true. No, because again, there's no way you're that retarded. It's just not even allowed. You don't, because why I say this, if your IQ is that low, you're not able to speak. Kind of like how I'm stuttering over my words right now, stroke alert. You can't wipe your bum or asshole, whatever you want to say, because you get so many warnings. Don't bring metal objects to the MRI. Left an earring in, no, they checked that 100%. Had a metal pin put through a broken bone and completely forgotten. That is actually true, or somewhere in the teeth, if you had a fucking mole that has to be removed and there's a fucking screw up in that bitch. It's understandable, we've all heard the horror stories. But one woman had a bit of a shock to the tune of a loud blast when she had her scan. The 57-year-old from Wisconsin, from the US, I'm gonna guess that that's a carry state, or there's a difference between concealed and open carrying, of course. Orange Man would be very pissed that I don't know that, but I did go to Burger King yesterday, so he's happy about that. Took a loaded firearm into the machine in June, which was then attracted to the magnet when it was switched on. Yeah, so, again, it's not even, I realize now it's not even the same to the story of the Brazilian man who brought an assault rifle, because I'm pretty sure that the Brazilian man brought the assault rifle just to the MRI room, But this OnlyFans woman, again, she definitely put it on her OnlyFans, getting shot in the bum in an MRI machine. Paid $10 a month to see it with extra messages, which is mostly AI, by the way. Sidetracked, I'm getting sidetracked, but real smart motherfuckers use AI bots to control their OnlyFans accounts to get massive money of the most cooked of cook lords like Adam22 and Logan Paul, whose wife openly admitted to sucking sausages during a basketball game in a stadium or something. But lovely. But yes, let me continue. She took a loaded firearm into the machine. You see, that's a big difference between just sitting in the MRI room and having magnetic metal objects, because I think that's still dangerous. But getting into the machine, and you don't even have pants on. I'm pretty sure, again, I've never been in an MRI machine, and I hope I don't got a tumor over here, but yes, you probably don't wear pants. And how the fuck, why would you carry your gun like in your hand into the MRI machine? Probably because she was afraid that the government was about to be tyrannical, so she needs to protect herself. Second Amendment. She was then shot in the bum as a result. Records from the Food and Drug Administration show. A use of device problem report submitted by the woman's insurance company. No fucking way you're going to try to use your insurance. To the FDA in July read, it was reported that a patient was brought into the magnet room with a concealed ferrous handgun. Whatever ferrous means. Yeah, but... okay, look, it's typical US that you're going to do whatever it takes to make a case to get insurance money. That makes sense, because when I was in Florida, like everywhere next to the highway, there was a sign that said, "Injured, call me on my cell." Like a bunch of fucking sleazy Saul Goodman-like lawyers, even with the balding, who tried to make a case of everything, right? It makes sense. But there's no way that you're going to win this case, because it's so unbelievably clear that you should not take metal objects, even in the hospital, near the MRI room, but let alone into the machine. Unless you want an anal railgun. It's up to you, buddy, because again, I've told you this for the third time now. I did a video before about a man who left his metal, and that's the thing, he did sue that company because he did not know that the butt plug was made of metal. Right? It's one of those things that Bill Gates, always very sharp, knows that his butt plugs are all plastic. But this bloke who went into the MRI with the metal butt plug did not know there was metal content in it. And I do think he successfully sued that company because he was so fucking injured. Because it didn't say it had metal parts in it. But in this case, I don't think they're going to get even a single penny. It was reported that the patient was brought into the magnet room with a concealed ferrous handgun. In the process of entering the bore, what is bore? The handgun was attracted to the magnet and fired a single round. You're also lucky it's not multiple rounds. Of course, it's not an automatic pistol, but still, it could be multiple rounds. Let's go. The patient received a gunshot wound in the right buttock area. Well, it's not the first time she had objects close to that place. So she should be used to it now. It is unclear how the woman managed to bring the gun into the scanner. That's indeed like the mystery. Because, again, it's not even about the IQ that is so shockingly low to bring a handgun into an MRI. But how did nobody... because the hospital staff probably is partly responsible. I don't know what's in their contract. Like, you should be careful that your patients don't bring handguns, metal butt plugs, and anal railguns into an MRI machine. I don't know if that's in the description of the employees at the hospital's contract. But yeah, nobody saw her, because again, this is what I wanted to say earlier, by the way, what she's wearing. I don't know what it's called, sheaths, but it's not regular clothing and pants. So you don't have pockets, so you're bringing your handgun in your hand into the MRI machine and nobody's saying nothing. That's kind of peculiar, don't you think so? It is unclear how the woman managed to bring the gun into the scanner as she underwent routine checks. The patient... last thing I'll say about that, it's also in favor of the hospital staff themselves. Because if, she got shot in her ass, but what if somebody in the hospitals gets shot in the face? I did a video 2 days ago about a Chinese man who had a 10 or 15 centimeter nail raw docked, if you know that word, in his skull, in his brain, penetrated his brain. He still survived and he was conscious during a workplace accident, but that could have happened if the loaded gun fired at somebody else, or not in her ass, but on her, could have damaged vital organs. But for her, the ass is probably very vital for the money making. The patient was examined by a physician at the site who described the entry and exit holes as very small and superficial, only penetrating subcutaneous tissue. That's lucky. Oi, UK blokes, what is this? 5-man dragged British tourist. Okay, it's not the British tourist himself. Stroke alert again. 5-man dragged British tourist from pool party and raped her in her room. That's some gruesome shit going on there. 5 men as well, like what the fuck? It is unclear how the woman managed to bring the gun into the scanner, as she had a routine screening for metal objects and confirmed she had nothing of the kind on her. Again, it's a miracle. And the hospital staff is making sure that the patient doesn't bring any metal object, because it's for everybody's interest, best interest. Also, this machine could be destroyed if some other metal object, like the butt plug, just spins around, gets attracted to the MRI machine, and destroys it. Especially with the nasty things that are on the objects. But yeah, the only thing I can think of at this point is that this woman is of older age, believes in the Second Amendment, and wants to protect herself in case the doctor is going to do dirty things in the MRI machine. I don't know what else. Tell me, what else could be a possible explanation? According to the NHS, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI is a type of scan that uses strong magnetic fields and radio waves to produce detailed images of the inside of the body. The MRI scanner is a large tube that contains powerful magnets, which you lie inside during the scan. Yes, buddy, we know that. What is this? Iconic London bar served caustic soda with tequila shots instead of salt. Nice. 4 women instantly became ill and were rushed to the hospital. It's always with these things, this must be intentional. There's no way you're going to be that retarded swapping caustic soda with instead of salt. But let me continue with this. I see all these fucking news articles on the side. I have to read this as well. Getting sidetracked. Woman who posed as a man to con victim into having sex is jailed for 10 years. This is something that could only happen to Logan Paul. Only a man like him would be... He thinks it's a woman, but he probably... actually posed as a man. Never mind then. He thought it was a man and still went for it. As a result, patients are required to remove all metal from their bodies, and everything entering the room is carefully monitored. Yeah, like I told you before, even the objects in the room, not even in the MRI dark hole itself. It's just also in the room they try to prevent any metal objects, of course. As otherwise objects could be attracted to the giant magnet. An MRI scan can be used to examine almost any part of the body, including the brain, were non-existent in her case. From this story, of course, it's clear now. Bones, joints, and internal organs. The results can help diagnose conditions and plan treatments. Despite precautions, injuries can still occur around MRI machines. Just 2 months ago, a nurse at a hospital in San Francisco suffered crushing injuries, probably literally, after she became trapped between a scanner and a hospital bed, dragged towards the machine. Yeah, I mean, you're going to enjoy some magnetic resonance imaging if you fucking bring a metal object. And in this case, you get lucky. I mean, not this woman. She got trapped and raw dogged between a hospital bed and a machine. But again, the loaded gun went off. If she got shot, I don't know, maybe in her liver, in her brain, worst case scenario, or heart, it's GG, sit kid, no re, because it's done very quickly, of course. Because the lawyer, and now I remember, the Brazilian man, which I told you about, who had an assault rifle, he was a lawyer, interestingly enough, and I even remember the comments below the news article. The people were celebrating that it was a lawyer and said it was deserved. Pretty grim, but that's typical keyboard warriors, of course. But yeah, he brought an assault rifle just in the MRI room, not the machine. It went off and he died. But maybe, yeah, he's a lawyer. He can sue the people from his grave. Not trying to be offensive. It's pretty tragic, but yes. Can we see some interesting shit over here? Probably not. It's going to be the end of the video. Hairline balding check. It's actually insane. Not even joking. Like major balding over here. But I only have a couple years left until to the point that I'm so disgustingly Norwooding, homeless-like looking that the police is going to arrest me because people puke when they see me on the streets. So I just have a couple years left. Gotta have as little stress as possible, of course, because there is actually a correlation between increasing cortisol levels and DHT induced balding, which is genetically. So that's why, for example, people always say if you massively abuse something like dextroamphetamine, that you're going to lose hair. But that's seriously a different type of balding that's more so attributed to oxidative stress rather than a DHT-induced balding, which is what most men in the West have genetically. And you're just doomed to subhumanness if you have those genes. And I hope that in China they're actually doing genetic engineering, turning on and off genes with epigenetics, with, for example, DNA methylation. I hope to God they can fucking hurry up. I'll donate them some bats just so they can make it that I can DNA methylate the gene that is causing the balding, aka turn it off quickly. Thank you. Yes, thank you all for watching. Interesting article. Very similar to what we've already reviewed. Quick summary, this woman shot herself in the bum. It's actually not what she did, but the MRI machine in this case. Sue the MRI machine. She's actually suing, can't talk again, stroke, the hospital for not taking the gun from her before she stepped into an MRI machine. But it's very similar to, of course, the bloke who had a metal butt plug. He did not know it was metal, however, in the MRI, and it got ravished through his body up to his chest. And the Brazilian lawyer who died when he brought an assault rifle into an MRI room. Very, very classic. But thank you all for watching.